This is Fox 23 News at 9.
We're following breaking news tonight involving a fire in Wagoner County. I'm Frank Wiley.
And I'm Shay Rozzi. We first told you about the fire on East 51st Street on our Fox 23 Twitter page this evening, and it took firefighters hours to get the upper hand. Fox 23's Andrew Carter joins us now live from there with a look at what's left. Andrew?
Yeah, the scene behind me tells the story. This house is still being worked on, and the fire started at 5:30 today. Now, when you mix blazing fire with hot temperatures, you can only imagine the scene that was here earlier today.
Complications we have today is the high heat, and the heat index is affecting all of our firefighters. We're not able to get in there and work this fire as rapidly and effectively as normal.
According to several witnesses, it took firefighters about 30 minutes to get out here. This house sits between Broken Arrow, Oak Grove, and Tulsa. With no real city limits, this fire was large enough everyone had to come together.
There was a huge conglomerate of support and help here. This was a great cooperative effort. The limitation of water was a concern, but everybody teamed up.
As the house slowly crumbled away, water quickly vanished. With no true water source within 4 miles, the firefighters had their work cut out for them. Luckily, the Wagoner County Fire Commissioner said the problem may soon be fixed.
What I'm doing now is I'm doing everything I can to help get the hydrants speckled throughout my districts to ensure that we don't have a situation like this where the fire trucks show up and there's no water.
Many of the neighbors talked to me but refused to go on camera because they were worried that if they said anything wrong, this area could be annexed. But they told me they live out here for a reason, and dealing with a lack of resources is just part of life. Now, the scene out here is still active. I'm working on talking to firefighters, and off camera, I talked to the homeowners. So for 9:30, I'm going to try to figure out exactly how this fire started. For now, reporting live from Wagoner County, Andrew Carter, Fox 23 News.
We're continuing to follow breaking news tonight. Fox 23 has been on the scene of a devastating house fire in Wagoner County most of the evening. Fox 23's Andrew Carter has been on the scene for hours now, and Andrew, our crew's closer to having it out.
Yeah, firefighters are still out here working in what's been a very long day. And while residents here say they were concerned about how long it took for them to get out here, it's actually this exact part of Wagoner County that's to blame. This house has been on fire for more than 5 hours, and it was 30 minutes before firefighters could even get here. In an area that is on the border of Oak Grove, Broken Arrow, and Tulsa, it's not easy deciding who has jurisdiction. To make matters worse, the closest water source is about 4 miles away, making life that much more difficult on firefighters. Tension was high, flames were burning, and the sun was beating down as firefighters dealt with plenty of roadblocks.
Our biggest complications we have out here today is our water supply is over 2 miles away, 4-mile round trip to get water to get to our site at all times. Other complications we have today is the high heat, and the heat index is affecting all of our firefighters. We're not able to get in there and work this fire as rapidly and effectively as normal.
I did talk to the homeowner, and they think that this fire was started by a simple extension cord spark near a propane tank. What that family in the county expects to do coming up at 10. Reporting live from Wagoner County, Andrew Carter, Fox 23 News.
We're staying on top of breaking news right now. A firefight that's lasting well into the night. Firefighters are still at a home near 51st and Oneida. First on the scene, Fox 23's Andrew Carter. He's live with the struggles firefighters are facing.
Yeah, firefighters are still out here working hard, and while a lack of resources may have prevented this fire from happening, I will say it didn't take long for it to start. A simple extension cord that triggered a spark near a propane tank resulted in a scene that required 4 separate fire departments, dozens of water trips over 4 miles away, and a community wondering how this can be stopped in the future. With no fire hydrants anywhere near this part of Wagoner County, plenty of residents told me off camera that sadly, they're used to living in what is basically a no man's land. But the Wagoner County Fire Commissioner said help may be soon on the way.
What I'm doing now is I'm doing everything I can to help get the hydrants speckled throughout my districts to ensure that we don't have a situation like this where the fire trucks show up and there's no water.
Yeah, and while adding fire hydrants would definitely help prevent something like this ever happening in the future, I will tell you that the main issue here is the fact that this area of Wagoner County basically sits at no man's land, creating a lot of confusion over jurisdiction. Surrounding cities will have to communicate a little bit better to make sure a disaster like this never happens again. Reporting live from Wagoner County, Andrew Carter, Fox 23 News.
Still on the scene of breaking news, a house fire in Wagoner County. Fox 23's Andrew Carter is live with an update. Andrew?
Yeah, firefighters still work behind me, but they just told me that they're currently in the overall phase, which means they're basically just making sure all the flames are out so they don't have to come back again later tonight. Now, if you're just tuning in, this fire was started by a simple extension cord spark. And the main issue has to be this location of Wagoner County and its lack of sufficient resources, especially water. Now, the commissioner of the Wagoner County Fire Department did tell me that they do expect to get a grant to add more fire hydrants, but unfortunately for this house behind me, that's not going to help them as they basically lost everything. Reporting live from Wagoner County, Andrew Carter, Fox 23 News.